Welcome. Welcome to the Empire New Nurses Show. I'm Dr. Miriam Smith, the host for Empire New Nurses. I'm thrilled this evening because you're here, and I have something special to say to a group of individuals who many times might go unnoticed. Who are these individuals? These individuals are our ministers, our spiritual leaders, our pastors. I'm feeling very excited because I know that the spiritual leader not only supports or is there for the patient at their most vulnerable point, but they're also for the staff. As nurses, we do care for our patients. We care for our patients in so many ways. We think care for them spiritually. We care for them physically. We care for them emotionally, psychologically. However, at this moment, I definitely want to acknowledge our spiritual leaders for the great work that they have been doing. They have been going beyond the call of duty at times. And you will agree with me if you didn't remember or you didn't know that October is also designated as Pastors Appreciation Month. So, your person, that minister who has helped you when you feel so overwhelmed, who give you some solace, who give you some encouragement to keep going and keep doing your best. We want to acknowledge them this time. So, I just want to say to you that so many times as nurses, I'm a retired nurse now. However, there were times when patients' conditions were so serious. Sometimes they were facing life threatening illnesses, and we have to call the ministers upon request, and sometimes they're just passing through, and we'll ask them to see the patient upon the patient's request also. And they not only minister to the patients, but they support comfort and encouragement to the family members. And you know, the family, when we care for the patients, we not only care for just the patients themselves, but the family is a part of the process. So, right now at this time, I want to say thanks to our clergy, our leaders who have been so supportive, especially in those critical, vulnerable moments of our patients. I have something that I definitely want to read for you. And you young nurse, you know, I talk about empowering young nurses, but our young nurses also are aware that we cannot, the young nurse alone. It's an interprofessional team that cares so much for the patient. We collaborate our ideas, our thought process, our results in the care of the patient. And so one person does not get all the credit. One department does not get. We're a team, and the spiritual part is important. We have seen whereby sometimes the clergy comes in and he prays for that patient, or he lends some support to the anxious, overwhelmed family members who are crying, who are anxious and over it, as it were. And the presence of the clergy, the prayers, all of those help to alleviate the tension, and the presence make a peaceful atmosphere or in the environment. So I just want to read something quickly to all the pastors, ministers, and spiritual leaders who visit our patients, who are there when weight of illness is heavy. We thank you. your dedication and your compassion that lifts the patients and their family. And us, the healthcare providers, we appreciate everything you do. And this Pastor's Appreciation Month, we want to send a heartfelt thank you for walking the journey with us. As a nurse for many years, I've seen patients die. I've seen patients' condition deteriorate. And when a minister comes in, and sometimes the patient didn't make it either, and the family members also request for the pastor to be there. And so we give them that opportunity to go in and to talk with. It's a very tense moment, but they can bring some relief at this time. So my young nurses, I know there's a lot to learn, but be mindful at times that that patient requires that special support, not just from us, the nurses, who are giving, of course, doing our part, physically, giving the medication, emotionally talking with them, holding their hands, talking to the patient's family. But when that minister comes in, it does make a difference. Sometimes the patients might be, they're close their eyes, but when that minister comes in, they recognize the voice and they will open their eyes or so forth. And some of them, as we would say, they gradually pass on. The family members are usually so happy to know that their pastors or the patient's family pastors are there with them until that last moment. So let's bear that in mind, that our pastors have multiple roles, not just for the patient, not just for the family, but also for the healthcare providers. And there are times prayers are being ascended on behalf of our spiritual leaders, and we appreciate you. So a big shout out to all our clergy, individuals, all those who participating in that special moment of prayer, that special time when individuals, the patients, the clients are most vulnerable and they need that special support. So I want to say thank you and keep up the good work, and we'll continue to pray for you. Have a good evening. Thanks for the care that you offer. How can you connect with me? Well, I'm Dr. Miriam Smith, the host for Empower New Nurses. I would like you to subscribe to my channel. All right, what you'll have to write, subscribe, Miriam Amanda Smith. That's Miriam Amanda Smith. That's on YouTube. On Podcast Mare, that is Instagram, Podcast Mare. And Empowering New Nurses, yes, on podcast. I look forward to hearing from you. And as you have the opportunity now to give a shout out to your minister, do that. This is the month for it. You do it all the time, but this is the time when that special acknowledgement is being done. Do that, and thank you. Have a great evening. Be blessed.